Hello? You guys there? Okay, I thought I was by myself. Hi, let's see. Okay, it's a little loud here because I'm in my new location. Pillow in hand, water right here, and I'm sitting in one of my favorite spots in my new place, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm sitting in one of my favorite chairs. It's just all a little low and a little different, so I'm excited to see you guys. Let's see you come on. If you're here, please make sure that you put your name, or even better, tell me which corner of the universe you're lighting up tonight. So I'll tell you where I'm lining up. Los Angeles, just the other side of the Beverly Center, just the other side of Beverly Hills. I am looking at a whole bunch of orchids. Right behind me is a whole lot of candles. And the reason why I've lit all these candles tonight is because you are the light. And when you bring your light, each candle can light billions of other candles without ever diminishing its own light. So if you're here and you're watching, welcome to This Evening with Lyanna and to Lyanna's Lounge. We started calling it that because people started calling it that. So I said, okay, we'll call it Lyanna's Lounge. And I'm talking to you about, thank you for the hearts. I think that's Lupita. Lupita, is that you? Yeah? Just give me a heads up. For those of you who are new to this, it's kind of like a fireside chat, talking about things that, like the pink elephant that's in the room, but it's actually not a clothing rack. So we're going to take the clothes off the pink elephant and we're going to talk about what's in the room. And one of the things that's been on my mind and that I've been speaking to my circle, my inner circle about is, what are we pretending not to know? What am I pretending not to know? What is it that is happening at the time that it's happening? It's happening and I notice it, and I call it painting red flags pink, oh, it's not so bad. And the truth is that when we get to be in hindsight, when we get to be in a place where, we've watched it all happen, it all came down, and the walls came tumbling down, when the walls came tumbling down, then we go, oh my God, why didn't I see that? And then for me, I don't know how it is for you, but for me, when I really sit and reflect and I go back and I take inventory of the little details that God happens to be in, I notice, oh my God, it was there the whole time. This was there, that was there, I saw this, and I noticed those words come out of her mouth or out of his mouth. I noticed that, but that's what I call painting red flags pink. So what did I pretend not to see in that situation? What did I pretend not to notice? What was it that was actually happening and I didn't want to see it because my focus was on something else, or because whatever. So this conversation is about, has it happened to you? And if so, how did it happen? What happened? Did it happen with a friend? Did it happen in a situation that your intuition basically said, you shouldn't go into that? Why are you going into that? Why are you doing that? Like, why is it that, why are you doing that? Don't do that. Not from the brain, but from the heart. And so what are you pretending not to know? So I ask myself that question when shift hits the fan and things are difficult, and then suddenly you just go, what was I, that sentence, what was I thinking? Or what were you thinking? So we do it a lot. A lot of us do it. Many of us do it. And then in hindsight, we want to get some sort of a resolution. Why it happened. Hopefully for the sake of our learning. Hopefully for the fact that we don't want it to happen next time. What can we do about it? So when I ask this question, and when I ask this question to my tribe, or when I'm training a workshop, I ask it because in this moment, something is going on where there's a pretense that I'm pretending not to know something, even though deep down inside, if I really take a good look, if I'm calm and centered and conscious around a conversation, and I go into the quiet of it, there's something that I know and that I'm pretending not to know in the now. And it's interesting because I started doing this every day. And, knowing and having awareness is like a muscle. So if we keep creating strength in that muscle by practicing every day, it's really quite amazing what happens, because you could be in the moment where something is possibly difficult or could possibly end up being difficult. And when that muscle has become stronger, you become stronger. Your choices become more grounded. They become more eloquent, internally eloquent, and educated. And there isn't, the drama loses its grip. And suddenly you come to a place, or I find myself coming to a place. Let me just move my little table over. Hi Carlos. Oh, so nice that you guys are here. So I find myself coming to a place where I become really centered and quiet, even though there's a lot going on around me. And that's how I started to recognize that this is actually possible. I can actually, in the moment when it's happening, I can actually ground myself and get really centered and innerly quiet, and then I can say, what am I pretending not to know? What am I pretending not to see about this situation? What am I pretending? And then you can take this further, not just what to know. What am I pretending not to see? What am I pretending not to be aware of? What am I pretending not to hear? Because in all the domains of our senses, we can be really good at pretending that it's not there. We can pretend we didn't see that. We didn't hear that. That person didn't say that. So what's majestic about this conversation inside on the internal part is that when we become more, how do I say this? When we become more apt at practicing that, there's a place in which you move into that knowing with much greater ease. And then suddenly there's no drama. There's just, you know exactly what you have to do, and you just go out and do it. And there's no guilt, there's no shame. Even if you have to turn around on a dime and change a commitment that I've made or that you made, or instead of saying no to someone, you say yes to someone, which isn't always the thing that we do. Or I made a mistake, and instead of carrying it out, like for the next 3 weeks and not being able to sleep, you just immediately in that moment, you can go up to the person and you can make amends. You can say, I'm sorry. And that's really powerful. So that muscle for me has been trained through this practice of on a daily basis, sometimes 5, 6, 7 times a day. What am I pretending not to know? What is that? And it started happening for me. Thank you, Lupi, for all the beautiful hearts. Carlos, Pamela, thank you for being here. I don't know who else is here, so oh, Kate, how beautiful. Thank you guys for showing up. If you're here, let me know which corner of the universe you're lighting up tonight. It has been so hot in Los Angeles. I think today it was 100 degrees. Thank you for all the hearts. So this practice of actually being in the moment in a way that there's like a powerful connection to what's happening right in front of us. That muscle has been, when that muscle gets fortified, not through other people, but just through your own practice. And so the way that it shows up, this is what I was saying before I took a sip of water. So the way that it shows up is usually in breakdowns. And if we can get ahead of the breakdown, meaning like if I can just look inside and going, what am I pretending not to know, right? About the situation with my work, whatever, the bank, the landlord, whatever it is, even in traffic. Can I be so ahead of the game that I know myself really well and what triggers me and what gets me upset, what gets you upset, so that you can be ahead of the possible breakdown. And then when it happens, to just let it flow like water over a pebble, instead of having so much resistance to it. See, this whole breakdown conversation, or being up against something, or pretending not to know something, and then there's like some crazy news that we get, and oh my God, I didn't see that coming. Why did I not see that coming? The truth is, if we go back and we get really quiet, most of us knew that it was going to come in most situations. Okay, if I really get honest with myself and go back and take inventory of step by step what happened, and what did I do here, and what did I think then, and what happened in my body, was my internal structure giving me messages about something. You go back and it was there, at least for me. I don't know, and I'd love to know what it's like for you. So if you're out there, and I don't know if you're out there, so I can't see it. I don't know if you're out there and you're watching and you're engaged in the conversation. Let me know what you think. I'd love to know what you think. I'd love to know how you are in situations, and what are you pretending not to know. What we all do this. And if we can be honest with ourselves in a moment like that, and then give the strength and the courage and the vulnerability of that honesty to someone else, it's a really profound and beautiful gift if we're willing to give it. I have it. I have it in situations with some friends. I have had it in situations with dating. Oh my God, this whole dating conversation. I think I have a couple of really good friends that we want to write a book about it. We want to write books about this whole dating conversation. What is it like to be doing online dating, which is a completely different scenario. And in that world, it's actually a much bigger conversation. Let's see. Kate. Hi, Kate. Thank you for being here. Being aware, avoiding certain situations is empowering. That's so cool. Being aware and avoiding situations is very empowering. Okay, let me see if I can read all of the things that you're writing here. I've been working on my powerful inner circle and learning from them. Beautiful. Steering away from potential bad relationships that drain me. Growing in my strength to say no. Beautiful. Absolutely. And you know what I'd love? Thank you so much for sharing this, Kate. That's a really beautiful, beautiful thing. Hi, Charlene. It's good to see you. I'd love to know if you've just come on, I'd love to know which corner of the universe you're lighting up tonight. And Kate is in Central Indiana. Thank you for letting me know. This whole Facebook Live thing is so interesting. And I can't wait to do YouTube Live, because I don't know what that's like yet. We haven't done that yet. But I can't always see what you guys are writing. So even if I scroll up and down, I can't always see it. So tell me if you can, if you're willing, and if this isn't too intimate for you. And maybe because it's too intimate for you. Maybe you'll do it because of that. Hey, Loopy, yes, it's you. Is that you with all the hearts? That's so sweet. By the way, Kate, that's really beautiful what you said. Thank you so much. So, listening to some of my clients, we just did this exercise yesterday. We had a a group coaching call in my inner circle and in my year-long program, and we got together and I asked that question, what am I pretending not to know? And it's really profound, the answers when we become vulnerable, when we really truly go inward and we feel that we're in a safe space. The answers that come out are just so touching and so disarming and revealing in so many cases. Now, I'm asking all of us to do this, not in a group, not that you go out to your mom or your neighbor or your lover or your husband or wife or whatever. I'm asking us all to do this alone, like between me and God. When I slip into bed at night, can I really be authentic with myself? Can I sit inside of the mistakes that I've made, you know? So if I say, what am I pretending not to know? Like, could I have done something better? This actually evolved from a practice that I've been doing, 20 years, 25 years, where some of you have heard me talk about this. I write down 5 things that didn't go well that day. 5 things that didn't go so well. And then I write down 5 things that I could have done better and how I could have done them better. And what that does for me, it allows me to play kind of a movie about my life, about my day. And inside of playing that movie, I can see, oh, that was really great, and that went really well. But this thing over here, that conversation with the person on the phone after 4 hours of being on the phone with Apple, I just had lost it, you know? So why didn't that go so well? And why did I give myself permission to become restless and upset and short with this person? Or with a family member? See, the things that go well are great, and it's wonderful when we celebrate them, which we often don't always do either. So this practice at night where I celebrate the wins and I really juxtapose the things that didn't go well, you know, it's like a parallel, it's like 2 parallel baskets. So what didn't go so well, and in my mind I replay the things that didn't go so well, and I say, okay, well, that went well and this didn't go so well, so that I can have something to compare it to. And then what and how could I have done it better, which is so fascinating to me, because inside of the conversation of what didn't go so well, harping on what didn't go so well isn't really going to make it better. Yet, should I have not found a solution for it in that moment, at night when I take inventory, I go over it and I go, you know, I could have been nicer. I could have stopped the moment, or stopped in that moment and apologized to the person, which is actually what I did on the phone with the guy at Apple. I said to him, I'm really sorry, but my nervous system is on high alert, and I'm being really short with you. This has nothing to do with you. I've just been having a really difficult day. And can I tell you that on the other end of the phone, this guy was just so lovely and made me laugh. And after all this time on the phone, we finally got it resolved. We hung up the phone, and it felt really good. It felt good to have human-to-human, real communication with someone who was on the other line that I've never met, I will never meet. And I felt a personal accomplishment in the human sector. And how many times a day do we do that? You know? So what didn't go so well? What could I have done better? And the last thing I write about is what I'm grateful for. And I love writing that. And so when I say I'm writing about what I'm grateful for, it's not so much, I'm grateful for sun, I'm grateful for living in California. There's a lot of things I'm grateful for. But I'm grateful, like I make a point of saying the things, like the stuff that nobody ever gets to see. Like, I went to the store and I was in the supermarket aisle. You know what, I need a bunch more pillows around me because I'm too short and my legs are too short. So until I get used to all this, I'm just gonna tuck this pillow right behind me. And then I want to be close to you guys so that I can read what you guys are writing, and that's why I try to, let's see here. Is this Susan? Hey Susan, I love you too, honey. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Susan. So I went to the store. So this goes into the domain of what I'm grateful for. So yes, we're grateful for our family, we're grateful for our children and our grandchildren, and that we're happy, and that we have a job, and that we have money, and that we have air to breathe, and that we have let's see, food, and I mean everything. Loopy, are you here trying to give me a pillow? Give me that one. Look at that. This is my team. I have the most amazing team. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna just like slip it behind me. You're so cute. The most amazing team. See, this is exactly what I needed. Oh, so much better. Okay, so gratitude. So we're all grateful for all the things, all the amazing things in our life. So I'm at the supermarket. So the reason why I'm making a distinction in the gratitude sector is because I want to paint you a beautiful, amazing, tiny mosaic of a picture. Okay, so we're all grateful for all the amazing things that we all know. Often I say I'm grateful for what I don't have. Yes, this is before the supermarket. Like, I'm grateful for all the things that I didn't get. I say that. Often I say that first. Then I say, Dear God, universe, Mother, Father, God, I am grateful for the gentleman that was standing next to me in the coffee aisle or in the whatever aisle at the supermarket. And here, Miss Shorty over here, not wearing high heels, I'm at the supermarket, and I'm standing there and I'm trying to grab something from the top shelf, right? And clearly, I can't reach it. Clearly, I'm trying to step onto the first ledge. I step on the ledge, I break the damn ledge. I break the shelf on the bottom because it's not sturdy, and I just needed to get up there to get those olives. And this gentleman walks down the aisle, and he's watching what I'm doing, and he comes, and it was just so sweet. This is what he did. He just like barely touched my arm, and he's like, and he says, "Young lady," which was so funny. He's like, "Young lady, can I assist you in any way? Is there any way I can assist you?" No, this is a tall guy. And I said, yes. Now here I am, half standing with one foot on the broken shelf. My arm is up there. I must have looked like some crazy lunatic. And I'm trying to hold on with my other hand onto another shelf. And he says, "Can I assist you with it?" And I turn around, and I must have looked at him like a deer in headlights. And he says, "Well, how about I just get you down from there?" So he gets behind me, and he holds both of them, like my upper arms and elbows, and he gets me down, and he says, "What is it that you'd like to get from up there?" And I said, "Those olives, those with the almonds in them?" And he said, "Yes." And he says, "Well, how many would you like?" So this whole interaction, first of all, was so beautiful and so lovely, and it was completely unsolicited. And that's where my gratitude comes in. You know, that someone was watching someone else having a difficult time, struggling with something, and they're in the supermarket, and they're not all wrapped up in their own behavior and in their own what they need, but they're actually on the other side of their eyeballs looking at what's happening in the world. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because when we look at the world right now, when you go outside onto the street or in a coffee shop or wherever we are, most people are like this on their phones. Even when people are having dinner together, even when people are engaged in a conversation, they're still on their phones. It is absolutely mind-blowing to me to see how disengaged people are as they engage with their phones, and they're disengaged with the beautiful person that's right around them, right in front of them, right there. So when I saw this happen, when this incident happened, and the reason why I'm using this as an example of gratitude is because these days, in this day and age, we don't have that a lot anymore. You know, we don't. I rarely now see couples walking hand in hand and being in love with one another's movement and gazes. You know, you heard me say a couple of weeks ago, I was telling you a story about this father who was had his little child on the hand, and they were walking down the street, and the child saw a homeless person and wanted to go help him, and he kept calling out to his dad, and the dad was just on the phone and wasn't even paying attention to his kid. And so I bring these examples into the conversation because I would love to just get us all woken up to who we are, back to who we are, back to who's in front of us, back to, you know, what if you just started gazing into the eyes of your children rather than to the phone, or your lover, or you come home and you actually have a conversation with the people that you care about and that you love, and there's no phone, there's no TV, there's no, you know, this connection that our world is so desperately lacking. What if we would just all make a commitment to connect? The commitment to connect. It doesn't have to be 5 hours, but just notice the beautiful people in your life. Notice the people at the supermarket. It'd be so wonderful if we used to walk through supermarkets and people would talk to each other and people would say, so have you tried that? And what's that like? And how do you cook this? And, you know, and these days it's like becoming more and more detached, more and more disconnected. Less and less people are actually, it makes me, so, like I talk about it, and it really makes me sad. So when I asked this question at the beginning of this call, what are we pretending not to, what am I pretending not to know? What are you pretending not to know? What am I pretending not to know at any given moment? Which only comes out when difficulties happen. You know, what are you pretending not to know doesn't happen when everything is great and people are laughing and there's enough money. The other night I went to see, with my beautiful friend Michelle Ruiz, she invited me to go see Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin. And it was such a beautiful evening. We laughed a lot. The communication and the connection between those two women is absolutely magical. And they talked about a lot of stuff that was difficulty in their lives, or difficult in their lives. And this conversation of what am I pretending not to know? I mean, Jane Fonda talked about it. What are we pretending not to know when it comes to the healing of the world? When it comes to global warming? When it comes to people not getting enough food? The fact that our world, so many people, so much of our world is starving, and we're throwing so much food away, it's completely unconscionable. So what am I pretending not to know doesn't start on the borders of our country, just like peace starts in my heart. So if I can ask myself, what am I pretending not to know, and do one tiny little thing about it every day, just one minute step into that direction, then maybe in a year I'll be in a different place. Maybe you'll be in a different place. And we can look around and we can see that the communities that we create are actually for and with one another, and they want to continue to connect, and they want to continue, for the sake of the greater good, want to do better things in the world. We don't need to be millionaires. We just need to be. At least that's my opinion. So let me see who else is here. Who, you guys? Hi, sweetheart. Hi, Karen. Thank you so much for watching. And you're here. No, don't be sorry you're late. I'm just delighted that you're here. Thank you guys for being here. Oh my God, this is so cool. So I want to hear, what is it that you're doing? Karen, I think this is your first time. Is that right? Is this your first time with us? I'm delighted that you showed up. And how did you hear about it? And which corner of the universe are you lighting up tonight? I'd like to know. By the way, let me just give you a little bit of a glimpse of what's happening in my world here. We are getting ready. Susan will know. Susan's on this call today. We're getting ready for a big retreat next week. And it's starting on Halloween, so I'm very excited about that. We have a whole bunch of ladies coming in from all over the United States. I'm delighted. From Texas and from the South. I can't remember where Liz is coming from. I'm from Seattle, from Maine. Yeah, I'm from Chicago. So I'm really excited that all the ladies are coming in. And it's going to be, it starts on Halloween and ends on that Sunday. You're lighting up Rockport. Yes! Western New York State. Thank you, Anna. You are lighting up. And Karen, you're from Alabama. Where in Alabama? The South. I love the South. Thank you so much for letting me know. You guys need to light up, by the way. Totally, you all need to light up. I was talking about the candles behind me, and those over here, I don't know if you guys can see them. It's always a reminder that one candle, one, can light up millions. It can light millions of other candles without ever diminishing its own light. And I want you to remember that. We as people are exactly like that, you know? And when we go out into the universe, into the world, into the street, into wherever, I don't care if you're going to the supermarket or if you're going on a stage. It doesn't matter where we go, you know? When you're open and you're beaming and you're sparkling and you're excited and you're happy, there's something out there, you know, like you emit something that people want. Hold on one second, I gotta read it. Oxford Aniston. Wow, that is so cool. Karen, how did you find me? This is so lovely. I'm so delighted that you're here. Tell me the story of how you came upon all of this. And tell, if you are willing, Karen, because this is really beautiful. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you're joining us today. And Anna, what is it that you're pretending not to know? And I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to expose you or put you on the spot. What I'd like to do is, I'd like for all of us to give one another examples of how we fall asleep at the wheel and we don't really recognize it until we awaken and we've hit the wall. So this practicing of the awareness of what am I pretending not to know, or which red flags am I painting pink, the more we're conscious of it and the more examples we get from other people and the more domains we get to hear that it happens in. You know, I mean, literally, I've had friends and family members talk about domains that I didn't even think where it was possible. I mean, the one physical domain where you fall asleep at the wheel is like in the car, which, by the way, happened to someone that I know. Thank God this person had put their car in park and was standing at a light, and this person fell asleep. And 10 minutes later, somebody comes and knocks on this person's door and says, "Are you okay?" And then they wake up. Lucky that their car was in park, and what a blessing that nothing happened. But you know what? We do that in life. So the reason why I'm telling you this story is this person kind of knew something in the back of their heart, in the back of their soul. They put their car into park. So this putting the car into park at the red light is a precautionary measure, which is kind of like, what are you pretending not to know? Right? So there's something in our intuition that does know. So the sentence of what are you pretending not to know is actually, you do know it, and so why are you pretending? Don't pretend. Because the truth is we all have a very delicate intuitive system. If we get quiet enough and listen to the sweet, silent voice of the universe, of God, of Source, just take a breath. You'll get there. You'll get there. You don't have to hit the wall. Let me just see what Karen says. I was scanning through some videos and I'm really not sure how I got here. Not sure what your page is about, but I'm listening. Karen, this is so beautiful. It's so beautiful that you're here, and thank you so much for sharing this. So you don't know, Karen, so I'm going to share with you. I am a mentor. I'm a transformational leader. I'm a public speaker. I'm a best-selling author. So welcome to my tribe. Welcome to this page. I have been doing transformational work for about 40 years. I was born and raised in Germany and came to the United States in 1985. And I run a business called Image Therapists International, where I provide transformation through the empowerment of wardrobe. So clothing is the tool which I use in order to provide transformation, deep internal transformation. So the process is called the healing art of self-image therapy. And self-image therapy is the process of a PhD in design of who you are. So I have gone all over the world. I do this in 4 or 5 languages. I teach people how to use clothing, not as armor, but as the frame and as the platter upon which they are presented. And the truth is that you can't do this without all the inner work, without the beliefs and the conversations that we have in our head about ourselves and about other people, and the conversations and the belief systems that we've been carrying throughout our whole lives since we were children. So that's a big part of my path, and I'm delighted, Karen, that you're here. So there's always a reason for everything. And Kate, what are you writing? Let me see if I can speak this out loud. Oh, look at that. I can actually click on it and then it'll show up. This spring I realized that I am not growing stagnant. I was very frustrated. Okay. I spent the entire summer working on a new job career. Okay. And now I have a job interview tomorrow, which, oh my God, congratulations. Yay! Congratulations on the job interview. Don't wear black. That's all I have to say. Don't wear black. Wear your eye color, wear your hair color, or wear something that's closer to your skin tone. If in doubt, teal or purple. No black. And I know we actually have to do a Facebook Live on this because I used to do so many clothing challenges, and we will do them again. We're just getting ready to create a really big event next March or April, and I want it to be a live conversation between all of us. So I want it to be a space where you can actually come and bring these deep inner questions and have them unfold and have them blossom inside of a community that's been in this conversation for a while. So for everyone who's been watching, I think most of you just started watching when it was a month before my 60th birthday. So from May 11th to June 11th, I was doing these Facebook Lives every day. And I really want to thank you guys for holding me accountable and being there. And I think I missed one day, and I can't remember what it was. Anyway, so that commitment got me started on doing it twice a week. And now we try to do them twice a week. I try to do them twice a week. It doesn't always happen either, but I'm deeply committed to sharing a conversation that's beneath the conversation that everyone else is having, meaning the conversation of things that are harder to talk about, the things that we don't really want to talk about, the things that we're too shy to talk about, because those are the things that eat at the fiber of who we are. So getting it out, speaking it out, first of all, it's a privilege for me to hear. Second of all, maybe we can all be the conduit for something that's happening in your world that's not really sitting well with you. So thank you for all of you for being here. Hold on one second, let me just see. Susan, Liana helps you peel away the layers. Thank you, Susan. I love you, honey. Susan is in my inner circle. She's in my year-long program. Thank you, Susan. And for those of you who actually have questions about that, you cannot, which is a big conversation I've just been in with a new client that's walked into my life. And there's always two. It's like a new client walks in, and then they have to be committed and I have to be committed. So this is a two-way street. And we were actually just talking about this, is that commitment to supporting a tribe for a full year is not something that you joke around with, It's something that from a mentor's perspective is something that you're deeply committed to. And inside of a year, committing a year to seeing people walk through their transformation and up against their difficulties, and then holding people accountable, and for me to hold myself accountable, and to my mentors, the people that hold me accountable for everything that I do, and to run a team, and to run, there's all these different pieces to the puzzle of life. So inside of all of that, the more I show up with integrity and in integrity, the easier everything else flows. Because if I don't show up in integrity and with integrity and in gratitude with gratitude, the more I'm at odds with things. And that doesn't work. It's like putting a square peg into a round hole. So the work of image therapy starts on the inside. It's the self-image that we're looking at. It's, what is my self made of? What am I pretending not to know? What am I pretending to hide? What is it? Who am I? Am I just a reflection of what my parents told me about what fashion is teaching me? Who am I as a human being? What is it that makes me me because everyone else is taken? And why do so many of us want to be somebody else? What is it? What is that? So this is all tucked into this question. It's all tucked inside of the question of, what am I pretending not to know? Because not being happy with this masterpiece, this beautiful body that we've been given, that's a pretense. This is the body I got. This is the face I got. This is the hair I got. This is the voice I got. Now I have two choices. I can either do the best that I can with what I've gotten, or I can sit there on my pity pot and go, no, I don't want it. I don't want plastic surgery and my nose and the ears and the boobs and the ass and the whatever. It's like, or you can just take this beautiful masterpiece, pick it up where it's at, and just lift it. And while you're climbing, we lift others up, which is exactly what we're doing right here. Let me just see what you guys are writing. I'm trying to figure out if I really start a business or not. Okay, you don't want to start a business? Don't. Go for it. Don't go for it. You're so sweet, Anna. Anna, you know what it is? It's this is so interesting to me because I'm going to be going to India in November, and here's what's interesting to me. After 40 years of being a mentor and a leader and I'm always moving forward. And the other day Lupita was going through boxes because we've moved and we're going to move again. Lupita was going through boxes and she was saying, Liana, do you realize that you did this and you did this? And every time I open another box, there's another piece of your history falls into my lap. And thank you, Lupi, by the way, for opening all the boxes and looking through them and finding stuff. So why I'm sharing this with you is because we all stand on this huge platform of what has come before us. And it's not just the people whose shoulders we stand on, it's our own accomplishments. And it doesn't mean that you have had to build like the Eiffel Tower, or you've had to done something really, really majestic or great, or bridges or architecture, or be a famous actor or something. It's just your life, your amazing life. Your life is amazing. Children, growing up, going to college, having brothers and sisters whose life you changed that you don't even know about. You may not even know that you've actually, just by your mere presence, you've touched and changed someone's life. You don't know. So many people have no idea that when you walk down the street and no matter what, you smile at people, I promise you, you will change somebody's day for the better. And guess what? You're never going to know that you did it. It's just going to be that way. Maybe you even changed somebody's life. Maybe somebody didn't run off of a bridge because you smiled at them. You know, this whole thing about the ICU cards that I keep talking. Again, I don't have one here. Let me just see. Maybe I have one here in my office box. Or maybe Lupi's going to run out and she's listening. Maybe she's going to run out and she's going to give me one, because that's just who she is, because I don't have one here. So this connectivity thing that I always talk about, you know, people are not connected enough. We don't get enough hugs. Nobody's hugging each other anymore. And we all need it. We all need to be hugged and loved and connected, and we don't there she is. I love you. You have can you get me an open one? Yes. So I can show them? You're such an angel. La 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 la. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the story of these in a minute, but when I have they're all in a vellum envelope. See, there's a seal on the back. It's a moon, because I love the moon. Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. It's and there's a little velvet ribbon, and there's something that says on the back, and this is what it looks like when it's open. So let me show you. So here's the envelope, and here's the cards. So I'm going to show you. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 different cards, and we're making more. And I'm going to tell you what they say. Before I read them to you, this practice was born out of a practice that was just verbal, okay? So the verbal practice, I believe that when you are given a thought, when the universe, God, puts a thought into your head about somebody else, that thought doesn't belong to you. So let's say you're walking across the street and there's a woman and she looks really beautiful and her outfit looks really nice, and you just think, oh, wow, she's so beautiful. She just looks so beautiful, okay? That thought, she's so beautiful, doesn't belong to you. That belongs to that woman. So for about 25 years, I used to teach my clients, I used to say, listen, if you have a kind thought about someone, it doesn't belong to you. You have to go and you have to give that thought back to the person, because it's a gift and you're the conduit to that gift. But the gift doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the person you're thinking it about. And so we would do retreats and seminars, and I would say to my clients, well, now you got to go out and you got to tell people. And then a friend of mine said, Liana, you need to put these on cards. So we did. So we put them on cards. And I know I've spoken about this before, like a couple months ago, and I'm going to do it again. This one's here. I'll read you what one of them says. I just wanted to tell you, I acknowledge your commitment to living a bigger life. Okay, so that's this one. So they all have a different saying, but they all say the same thing on the back. And the back says, please accept this card as my sincere acknowledgement of who you are. However, it is not yours to keep. Now it is your turn to find another deserving person and pass these words of appreciation on to them. It's called the I See You game. This has been around a long time. Avatar got nothing on me. So when Avatar came out with this, I see you, my clients were calling me. They go, oh my God, he stole your line. And the thing is, it's all in the universe. It's all in the energy. It's just words. So it's the I See You game. How was this for you? Share your I See You card giving and receiving experience on Facebook. And we ask people to share it on Facebook at Image Therapy. And it has a QR code. And the last piece on this is gratitude, a gift you can always afford to give. And the reason why this is so important to me is because many of you have heard me say it, I'm going to say it again, is that I believe in world peace. And that peace does not start on the borders of our country, it starts right here, inside of me. And if I should be the masterpiece who masters peace, if I can master peace inside myself, and I can be a peaceful space for someone else, and we actually connect, like we actually go to someone and give this card to another beautiful person with all these different things. I admire your sense of grace and style. I admire your brilliant, shining spirit. I love this one. This one is one of my favorites. I admire your brilliant and shining spirit. I admire your honesty and integrity and wisdom. I acknowledge you for living a bigger life. I'm grateful for all your valuable help. I take a whole stack of these, and then I take them with me into hotels and restaurants. And then I take the one that says your brilliant and shining spirit, and I take like 400 of them, and I stick them into the hotel slots. I stick them into the key card. Yeah, see, this is not a business thing. This is just a gift, and I want people to go out and give it, because it will establish more connection between humanity, and that just really makes me happy. So I go out and do it. Sometimes I get caught and people say, no, you can't do that. Sometimes I'm on the street and I'm telling people how beautiful they are, and I pull out a card and people start crying. Some people get really upset, but I don't let that stop me. I don't. People get very upset. Like, how dare you? Why are you intruding on my table? And that's maybe in 25 years, that's only happened like 4 times. The rest of the time, people are moved, delighted, inspired, crying. It doesn't matter whether it was in Jordan or Greece or America or Texas or New Bern, North Carolina. We all just want to be gotten. We all just want to be seen. We want to connect. And we want to be seen by somebody who gets us. Anna, what are you saying? Yes, QR code. Were you asking about something? Carlos can help you place that on your live stream. Oh, that's so cool. He can? Oh, wow, that's so cool. Oh, wow. So cool, Anna. Anna, you and I still need to have a conversation about your new venture. So I'm very excited about that, by the way. Send an email, Anna. Send an email to Amy at Image Therapist. Image Therapist with an S at the end. And she will set it up after my retreat and before I go to India, hopefully. Let's see if that works. If not, we'll do it when I get back from India after the 29th. After the 20th of November. Yeah, guys, so I keep mentioning India because, Loopy, you're so cute. I keep mentioning India because the next couple of weeks are going to be very full. Thursday, Halloween weekend. On Halloween so Thursday, Halloween is most probably not going to be a Facebook Live. I don't know, maybe yes. We have no idea. There's going to be a bunch of us here. So we might be doing it from the biggest and most badassest Halloween parade in West Hollywood. So if we do, we're going to do a Facebook Live from there, depending on how much reception I get. And then hopefully I'll be able to do it from India. I'm not really sure, so forgive me if there is not a continuum happening. But that way you get to know what it is. It's not for the lack of wanting or desire. It's most probably because there's so much amazingness going on in my life. Yay. Loopy, can you tell me what time it is? You're a powerhouse. Nothing. Oh, no, nothing can stop anybody. We're all powerhouses. Thank you, sweetheart. You guys, I am so excited. Doris! Oh my God, Doris is here. Doris, hi, sweetheart. Yes. Oh, this is so sweet. I can't wait to read all this later. I'm so delighted that you guys are here. Thank you all for taking the time. You know, it means so much to me that you're here live. I know you can go watch this later, and you don't. You come in live, you give your beautiful input. I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that you're connecting. I'm grateful that you're asking questions. And I'm grateful that it's been almost an hour, and oh my God, it felt like 5 minutes. So I'm delighted that you guys are here, and I'm very grateful. No, Amy at imagetherapists.com. Anna, Amy at imagetherapists.com with an S at the end. Karen, thank you so much. So Karen, how was this for you? This is your first time. I'm delighted that you're here. Give me a little feedback. It's so beautiful to see that you are in the conversation. You've been here for a while. Did you enjoy it? Would you invite your friends? We sometimes talk about very interesting things. You can actually, Catherine, if you go back on my page, on this page that we're on, Liana Chaouli, Image Therapist International, you can go watch a whole bunch of other really cool conversations that we've had. So I'm delighted to welcome you to my tribe. And if there's something that you heard, something that moved you, something that inspired you, whether I said it or somebody typed it in the chat, whether it's something that touched your heart, your mind, your spirit, or maybe it even got you into some sort of an action. If that's the case, then share it with someone. Because if it touched you in a certain way, maybe it touches them too. And that way we connect the world and the tapestry of our world, the tapestry of love, which we're all connected to. All of humanity is connected to the same tapestry. It is our actions that change the alchemy of that. And if we come to this tapestry with love, no one's going to get poked. So thank you all for being here. I'm delighted that you joined me. Thank you for being on live. Share this with whomever you see needs it, wants it, or could learn from this. And thank you so much for being here. And I will see you next week, Monday. Good night, everybody. Thanks for being here. Bye.